Disclaimer, this is just for fun and curiosity, it's far from being meta. Nobody was doing a tier list for specifically Sentinel weapons, so why not make it? If you want easy-to-use Sentinel weapon, use Verglas. Here's a build, works without needing attention. If you want a pet that can kill right out the gate, use Sunica Kubrau. I don't own one, so here's a build on a Predacite. Sentinel weapons can kill. You can make it the centerpiece of your loadout and build around it. Buff it with frame abilities. Classic Roar and Eclipse for damage buff, but Eclipse needs the augment. Use Shock for non-combining element buff, but it costs a mod slot for the augment. Nourish is good utility, but it's not a damaging element. Use it if you don't mod Viral on the weapon, which you should. Thermal Sunder Heat with the Thermal Transfer Augment mod can be good, but you might mess it up and accidentally make Blast and kill your DPS. Sentinel weapons benefit from Galvanized mods, but cannot activate them. You need to equip matching mods on your weapon to kill and stack buffs that will be used by the Sentinel. This is not an AFK strategy. You can have your Sentinel be a trash cleaner, and you occasionally kill a tougher target, like an Eximus unit. Typically, you would use Gun Condition Overload and Galvanized Multishot. Galvanized Crit does not work because Sentinels don't aim. The build is typically Viral and Magnetic or Heat, and then offload your damaging element to a frame buff. Assault Mode is mandatory. Summoner's Wrath is mandatory for faction damage buff. Contagious Bond is mandatory for trash clear. Momentous Bond is nice to have for the element buff, and Quick Sentinel Revive. Fired Up disclaimer. The heat buff from Fired Up is a combining elemental buff. If, for example, I have my Tazicor built for Viral, Magnetic, and Electric, Fired Up will change it to Viral, Magnetic, Radiation. I didn't use it during testing because the combining elements can be a headache, but it's viable on Helstrum and Verglas built for Viral Heat. Here's my Sentinel weapon tier list, buffed by Summoner's Wrath, Roar and Shock Trooper, and abusing Contagious Bond. Let's start from the bottom. Deconstructor. Good status chance, can use Galvanized Elementalist. Only Helios uses it, starved for mod slots, low accuracy, slow reload, low fire rate, no multi-shot, low status output, no heavy attack, no combo, so cannot use Galvanized Reflex. No critical chance nor critical damage, so cannot use Galvanized Steel. There is a way to make it viable for killing, but the setup is much more specialized and specific. I think it's not worth the cost and effort. Multron, Vulcax, Vulklok, they all suffer from being too slow. They have good damage at base but low DPS and low status output. Vulklok is very inconsistent. It's starved for mod slots. It has unbelievably slow fire rate, so the status output is too low. I pivoted to Hunter Munitions because it can reach 100% crit chance. Vulklok wants hallways to abuse punch-through. Vulcax is a mini optic core, it needs to charge. It's AoE and can't use gun CO but still helps spread status. Better against crowds. Multron has largely the same problems as Vulcax without the charge. AoE helps spread status. Better against crowds. Cryotra DMR Sweeper. Cryotra, mediocre DPS and status output, slow reload and fire rate, low mag size and base status chance. The lingering damage helps spread status. It needs a choke point and big crowds to work. It sounds annoying to use though. Deth Machine Rifle has mediocre DPS. It has high fire rate but extremely low status chance, so the status output is still relatively low. DMR feels snappy and responsive because it's a machine gun, but it's surprisingly inaccurate. It wants punch-through and hallways. Sweeper, good base damage and high multi-shot, it uses gun CO well because of the varied damage types. It has low status chance and fire rate, but the high pellet count helps with status output. The wide spread over distance means inconsistent performance outside of melee range. It uses shotgun mods instead of rifles. Now let's talk about things that are actually worth your time. Let's first talk about the beam weapons, Artax, Tazicor, and Verglas. They all have high status chance and fire rate, resulting in high status output. Tazicor and Artax have low base damage, but they still output respectable DPS. Tazicor's chaining mechanic helps increase overall DPS by hitting many targets at once. Punch-through helps immensely here. Artax always have some uncombined cold damage. It's not a forced proc. It helps differentiate it from Verglas, which has no gimmick, only high raw stats.
Yeah.
Verglas is the outlier by having high damage as a Sentinel weapon. Now let's talk about the projectile weapons. I haven't checked the math, but it's likely these weapons have multiplicative gun CO math. Helstrum, burst laser, laser rifle, and stinger, all of them has decent stats. They all have good damage and status output. Stinger has consistent performance because of the embedded damage and force toxin proc. Burst laser shoots non-stop because it has practically zero reload. It uses pistol mods instead of rifles. Remember to match mods. Punch through would help so much here. Laser rifle has good DPS but mediocre status output. Helstrum scales incredibly well with multi-shot and has good area coverage. like Sentinels as they can fill a gap within a loadout. I wanted to explore how good Sentinel weapons can be, so I can use them based on certain needs. For most, Sentinel weapons outside of Verglas or Helstrum are not worth it. Even Helstrum is losing relevance, and still Verglas dominates the meta. For others, they don't even bother with Sentinels, as now beasts can deal damage after the rework, and they're very simple to build. Instead of keeping this information hidden in a Discord server or something, I decided to put this out there and hope someone find it useful.